And hello, and welcome to another episode of Elevator Pitch. I am Altair.
I am Hazel.
And today we have a brand new episode of this amazing podcast.
Woo!
Woo woo! Which, in case you don't remember, it's all about introducing each other films that the other one hasn't seen before, and then we comment on them and we bitch about them.
Yep.
And we have a lot of fun.
Yeah. I have a lot of fun. I hope the listeners at home are having a lot of fun.
Yeah. If you do, please show us some love on Instagram.
Yeah.
You can just comment on any picture, something nice.
Please.
Please. But yeah, let us know whether you are enjoying the episodes or not.
Yeah, we haven't had that much feedback yet,
Yeah,
I guess.
I mean, we have gotten, people like the pictures.
Yeah.
But we're not models.
We still want to communicate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But well, now that you know you're allowed to do it, do so, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for this month, excuse me. So for this month of the podcast, for the theme, if you don't know, we have a theme that we pick every month in order to choose our films. And the theme for this month was comfort films. Yay!
Those films that you watch over and over again.
That you never get tired of.
Never
that
get tired
always
of.
make you feel better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was my turn to go
Yep,
first.
yep.
And I've got mail. No. I picked.
No, you have mail.
Exactly.
Ah.
That was one of the big issues of the film.
Well, I'll get to that, yeah.
But no, I chose You've Got Mail because I don't know, it's a film that I've watched a lot of times. I think it's a pretty film.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's gonna be my comfort film anymore after yesterday.
Oh no! When was the last time you watched it then?
I don't know. I think before coming to Berlin, way before coming to Berlin.
Okay.
So longer than 3 years.
Okay.
So I wasn't a master in filmmaking back then.
So you weren't aware of some of the flaws that we'll be picking
Yeah.
out. over the
I
next
don't
hour.
think I was aware of. I mean, I guess it's. It has a lot of flaws in the sense of storytelling wise
structurally.
and structurally. So I think it's not like a bad film. It's just that you can see how it's not as good from a filmmaking point of view as I thought it could be. It was, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, let's see. Let's talk about it, and then we'll figure it out. And then I'll tell you why I don't think it's gonna be my comfort film anymore.
Oh God.
Yeah, I don't know.
That'd be kind of sad for the podcast this time, having ruined your.
No, I mean I don't think it ruined it. I mean yeah.
There's no way around it.
No, I don't think it ruined it. I think it's a matter of I've grown as a person.
Okay.
So as a person and as a filmmaker.
Yeah.
So I think I have to pick another film as my comfort film, maybe.
Because every time you'd watch it, the flaws would just
I
I
don't think I would be able to enjoy it anymore because this character is not that well written. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Well. Yeah.
That was because I'd seen. I think I've caught the ending from, I think, on occasion, like on television. I don't think I've ever seen it all the way through, and I was curious because it's a Nora Ephron film, and I've seen a couple of her films, and I kind of find them weird, and I was curious to see what this film would be like, and I guess we agreed on a lot of things yesterday when we were done. We'll talk about it in the process. Yeah.
It's basically Tom Hanks, the nicest guy,
the nicest guy in the world.
Writes emails with to Meg Ryan.
While simultaneously bringing down her business.
Exactly. Well, that's basically it. That's basically it.
Yeah.
And eventually, when he realizes that she's the woman he's been talking to, um, he decides to make her fall in love with who he really is, with so that
she's not disappointed.
she's not disappointed, basically. So the reasons why I guess no, the reasons why you should like it, because I think that you still are going to enjoy this film. I think it is I think it's really heartwarming. It's like a really cute film. It's a really cute film. I think it's like very innocent in a way.
That's the thing. I mean, like I was saying, like it doesn't really deal with any proper consequences. I guess
they're not like very well. I guess there is a high stake, like but it's not a stake, because you don't really wonder whether she's gonna keep her business.
No.
It just happens. That's the thing.
Exactly. Things just happen.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's no I don't know, not conclusion, but there's no, I don't know, rounding off to it.
It doesn't feel like there's a resolution to a problem, because it doesn't really create a problem.
Yeah.
That's what I think is a good comfort film. Like, if you don't want to watch anything too intense, if you just want to be like in front of the TV and watching life happens to these two characters, that's the film.
That's true.
That's the film that you can watch, because it's not gonna make you it's not gonna make you tense, it's not gonna make you wonder, it's not gonna make you really feel anything like too intense or too negative. I think the payoff at the end is quite sweet.
Yeah.
The fact that we go through it, but I think the payoff at the end is sweet, but it's not. It's also not like you were wondering whether they were gonna end up together.
No.
That's
where you see.
But that's the thing. I think that's why it is a comfort film, because there's no really like very strong emotions that you're gonna feel. So it's like a neutral film that you can watch, like wrapped in your blanket, eating ice cream. Oh, that sounds fun. I think I'm gonna do that next week.
We need to do that.
Yeah. And just see this life happen to these two characters, and that's it. So I think it's a cleanse film. You know how when you eat, like you're eating different things, you need to have something to cleanse your palate.
Yes.
I think this is a film that does that. Like, if you have been like going through a lot of things in your life that that have got you either sad or mad or disappointed.
Yeah.
I think you watch this film and it cleans your emotional palette.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, okay.
That was nice.
I can move on with my life now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is my elevator pitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so no 5 reasons?
Sorry, I just
you just stopped there. It's like, oh, so that's the only reason.
No, sorry. Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Is another reason.
Yep.
Tom Hanks, I mean, I think.
Although, to be honest, I find him maybe slightly miscast as this ruthless businessman.
Yeah, I guess because probably they weren't looking for the ruthless businessman. They were just looking for someone who you could fall in love with no matter what. You know, no matter if he took you out of business, no matter whether he
has like an 11-year-old aunt, which is weird.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. Like, you would still, if not fall in love with him, but you would still like him.
Yeah.
So probably that's why they casted him.
Yeah. Yeah, Tom Hanks can do no wrong.
Exactly. Something that I particularly really like about this film is like the cultural references. Yeah, it's like it talks about books, it talks about films, it talks about The Godfather. Actually, the first time that I became aware of The Godfather and how good it was supposed to be was because of You've Got Mail.
Okay.
Like that line where she says, "Ah, what is it with men and the Godfather?"
Yeah.
I thought, oh, so people really like this film, and the Godfather, but maybe that's another topic. Is one of those films that I never thought I would like that much, but I do.
Yeah.
And like the reason why I decided to watch The Godfather was actually You've Got Mail.
Okay.
Because I was very curious whether it's that good.
Okay.
So I really like that about the film. The doggy. There's a dog in the film that doesn't die.
Yeah. Oh, thank God. Yeah.
Because
because I don't know what it is about films, and you see a dog and you know the dog's gonna die.
Exactly. So you have this dog who doesn't die. He doesn't play that big role, but there's a dog. He's there, and he's fluffy.
Feel-good
and
comfort.
Beautiful. Exactly.
A cute doggy.
Exactly. And it's funny. I think it has like funny bits. It's my final reason. It's quite funny.
Yep.
I mean, it's not hilariously funny. But it has really sweet jokes, I would think. And something extra was that, I mean, I guess this is in retrospective. It doesn't belong to the film as such. I mean, I don't know. But I think I find that, especially yesterday, found it like very interesting to see how technology has developed.
Yeah.
And I think it's like a good, I don't know if testament, but it's like a time capsule.
Oh, absolutely.
Of a time where technology was this new thing that no one really knew how it worked.
People were still kind of a bit anxious about it. I guess we're still anxious about it, but
yeah, but I really enjoyed
less integrated into people's lives, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess it was, I don't know if refreshing is the right word, but do you know how I don't know, like seeing them that they're starting with this technology thing, but still it's not like they like today. Nowadays we get our mail in our phone, so we're always getting mail. It was like the thing of them having to connect to see if they had an email. So I think it's kind of cute to look back to that time where you weren't really that connected to the world. So that tiny, I
guess it's that nostalgia, isn't it?
Exactly. And that little tiny thing of checking whether you had a mail was exciting.
Yeah.
That it makes you feel like, I guess in a way it's like, life used to be so simple. So I think it's also like a really retrospect. It makes you look things in with a different perspective. So that's why I think it's a nice comfort film.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, shall we get into the plot?
Let's get into this plot.
Yeah. The plot.
But yeah.
There's not actually that much of it, really, is there?
Yeah, in terms of what the plot is, it's, I think, quite simple.
Yeah.
And they try to fill it up with a lot of things. That's
I
think it's the one of the problems.
So we kind of start with Meg Ryan's character, Kathleen Kelly. Who? See, this is the first question I have is
right off the bat.
Well, this is one of the things we discussed yesterday, was like their partners, because so like her boyfriend leaves, and then you have leaves in the morning to go to work, and then she's kind of waiting for him to leave, checking that he's gone, and then she plugs into AOL and you get the loading sounds. That was a really bad impression, but
Yeah, but I mean, if you are old enough, you know that sound that you
that the computer would make when it was like
connected
connecting.
to the internet. Yeah.
Yeah. Which already, this is the thing. It already feels like. My question is already, what's the nature of her relationship with a boyfriend, and the fact that she's sneaking around to make sure that he's gone to be able to talk to Tom Hanks online
Mm-hmm.
already makes you get the sense of, she's doing something sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's not really framed that way.
Yeah,
I
I think
guess.
this film gets away with framing these things that I mean that's another debate whether that's like cheating on your
Because
partner or not.
because that's, I guess, took me aback a bit, because I mean, I guess I can understand your argument of this is a very, like, I guess you could say gentle film,
Mm-hmm.
and the stakes are never too high. But with this kind of premise, it confused me that they don't sort of problematize what the two of them are doing, really, which is basically having kind of an emotional affair, I
Mm-hmm,
guess.
mm-hmm,
Because she does ask her
employee.
employee, like, would you count this as cheating?
Yeah.
I think, but they never really make a big deal out of it in the end, really.
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't know. Maybe if we went a little bit deeper into the film, we would pinpoint what how they managed to do it because yeah, like they show this affair that they have in a very innocent way.
Yeah.
And you want to root for them and of course like you can do that in the like further in the film when you show their partners are not the people they're in love with. But yeah, I guess it's kind of like an interesting choice that they chose that to be the opening scene.
Yeah.
Because maybe if they had shown first that maybe she and her current partner are not connected in an emotional way,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
then okay, so now I get why she's having this online relationship with this person. But it's right off the bat, they tell you, oh yeah, she's and he doesn't. They don't give you really time to judge his character because he's just saying hi, bye,
Yeah.
have a nice day,
Yeah.
bye. I guess it's a little bit distance. I don't know if they kiss actually. I don't know if that was like
I can't
her
remember.
point, like to show that they were already distant, and it's not that.
Maybe.
But that's the thing. Like, I don't think it reads as something wrong right off the bat. Maybe because you already know it's Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks.
That's the I guess. Maybe no. I guess that's what kind of maybe not disturbed me, but kind of irritated me slightly. That I guess in a way they're sort of justify, like the film's trying to justify what they're doing, because then also when Kathleen and her boyfriend like break up, you know, she asks him, do you not love me? And he says no, and then she's like, oh, thank God I don't love you either. So in that way, she's let off the hook, and then his girlfriend is shown to be sort of irritating and selfish and not a great person either. So it's clear to you that he's a better person. He doesn't want to be with her. So again, it's sort of letting him off the hook for talking to Meg Ryan online.
Yeah, I think it's again. I think it's a. I mean, maybe I'm speaking from a point of view, a very uninformed point of view, because in the 90s I was just a kid, so what do I know about relationships? But I think maybe back then there were like the way you would see relationships is a little bit different than what we see nowadays. I think today we have maybe like a more mature quote unquote concept of what a relationship should be. I think we know now that you should be a little bit more open to your partner,
Yeah.
and and if you are not happy, if you don't really feel something, you should just communicate it and talk about it.
Yeah.
Maybe back then it was more a thing of, oh, I'm with someone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with someone.
Yeah. I think it's the fact if they weren't shown to be, because Tom Hanks does it as well. Like he waits for his girlfriend to leave at the beginning of the film, to go online and chat. And I think if they hadn't shown them literally like waiting for because then you're obviously like, oh, they have something to hide. Whereas if they'd have framed it, maybe they've been chatting and they're sort of unawares of the fact that they've fallen in love with each other, maybe, or that in the meantime, since they started chatting, their physical, like their actual relationships have deteriorated. I would find that a better narrative, maybe.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think like back then, there wasn't this concern. And again, I'm probably talking just bullshit. What do I know about Hollywood narratives? I mean, from experience, I guess. But I don't think that back then, and we were talking about it last night also, like, I guess the moral implications that the plot that you come up with are not as important as the plot itself. You know, it's like we were talking about Big, right?
Yeah.
And so your plot is this kid who somehow wakes up in a man's body.
Yeah.
And this man is in love with this woman. So I guess for the plot, what works is that this woman wants to have sex with this man who is actually a kid. But that the moral implications of that in reality are less important than the plot in the movie. I guess I think that's how I feel was the reasoning back then.
Okay.
You know, people weren't that concerned of, oh, what's the implication of these two people having an affair, a digital affair, while they have their partners. It doesn't fucking matter because it's Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan are in love.
And you just want to see that.
And that's what
you came to see.
I think nowadays we stop to think a little bit more about those things.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the case in the 90s.
Yeah.
So, so I think that's the...
True.
Yeah.
Cool.
But we've grown society. We've grown.
We've grown. We're more aware. Yeah. So they've spent like 15 minutes dissecting just the first 5 minutes of this film.
Yeah. We'll move fast.
We'll try and move fast. I mean, there's not that much plot to get through. So, So they're kind of chatting in voiceover, and then you find out she owns this little bookshop that got passed down to her by her mother. It used to be owned by her mother, who's dead now. And he's part of this, I guess, like this empire, I guess. Like, he owns these mega bookstores with his father and his grandfather. And now they're just about to open this new big bookstore right next to the corner of Meg Ryan's bookstore. So they're gonna basically suck all the customers away from her. I don't know. There's not that much conflict up until not that much happens, I think, in between until they meet.
Exactly. Like, there's just the build up that they show you. Okay, these two people are in real life enemies, but in the digital world they are really close. That's basically what they try to do.
So then Tom Hanks spends... This is a really weird family relationship. This is also like really weird. Why does this need to be in here?
Yeah, I
guess... Is that his aunt is 11 and he has a 4-year-old brother, even though he's obviously like in his 30s, I think.
Yeah, I guess the point of that crazy dynamic is to, in a way, to show how men in his family are in a perpetual pursuit of love, like they haven't been able to find real love because they're very, very old, and they still like getting married with new people, and having
more kids, and when they're really old,
so it's like, okay, they obviously haven't found what they're looking for. Um, and so that's like a, I guess, like background on what he wants. He
Yeah.
probably doesn't want to end up like his dad and grandpa.
Yeah, I guess it's a way to differentiate him from
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
father and his grandfather.
Yeah,
I
and I
guess.
guess they just wanted like a funny, um,
Funny.
weird, whimsical dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah, so he spends the day with his 11-year-old aunt and his 4-year-old brother, and he brings them to Meg Ryan's bookstore for like this children's reading hour that they have, and they get taught like chatting, and then I think she comes to mention the bookstore, I think, or their bookstore.
Yeah.
So then he's like, "Ooh, I don't want her to know that I'm a fox,"
Yeah,
which
yeah.
like fox bookstores.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think the male employee that she has says like, are you gonna come back? And he says like, yeah, definitely. That's what I'm talking about. Because of loyal clients like you, is that this big bookshop is not gonna take us out of business.
Yeah. Also, do you think I just realized? Do you think there's a symbolism behind him being called Fox? That's like, because I think foxes are supposed to be like sneaky, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay, we've agreed on that.
There's so much conflict here.
No, there really isn't. There really isn't. That's right. And then they go to this party where they meet again.
Yeah.
With their partners this time, and she bumps in, like someone tells her, "Oh, that's Joe Fox," and so she confronts him, and she's like, "Oh, were you spying on me and trying to check out the competition?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, as if I'm threatened by a little bookshop on the corner."
Yeah.
And then their partners come along and bond, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just also like, I'd like to get to the point where I talk about Meg Ryan's boyfriend in this film, who's weird.
Yeah.
He's a weird character. I can't pin him down.
Yeah.
He's like this. Is he like he's a journalist? I think.
Yeah. But he's like one of these journalists. They're like very, I don't know if controversial is the word, but like who cares about all this? The little man. He's like a journalist, I guess, that tries to be like a hero in a way.
Yeah.
Because he's always talking. What I have of him is that he symbolizes like the opposite of what she's looking for in this period of her time, because like we can see that he doesn't like computers. He prefers the typewriter, and he's like very old-fashioned, vintage. So he's like I guess you would
remember
say,
typewriters.
Exactly. So I guess he's like a hipster in a way.
The 90s hipster.
Exactly. Who is like this? He's an intellectual.
Yeah.
So he's not. I guess it's also that's a symbolism. He's the past. He's her past.
Oh.
But Tom Hanks is her future.
Oh my god. Oh my god. You. Oh yes. You.
Go.
You worked it out.
Oh my god. Okay.
So they're not on good terms in real IRL, I guess.
Yeah.
In real life. Haha, I've got the lingo down.
How is it
IRL in real life.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out what that was. Earl. What's Earl? Okay.
Yeah, so, and I think now this is where they finally suggest to meet. I mean, you have like little bits in this conversation where she asks them about The Godfather.
Yeah, because it's like he says that he said something to someone at a party, and he was really awful, and then he felt really bad.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And then she says like, "Oh, I wish I could be that.
I wish I could say what I wanted to say in the moment to people."
Exactly. So they have like this conversation about like being like really like an asshole or not, whether you feel well afterwards or not. And
then they decide to meet up. I think
like a lot of things happen in between, I think. in terms of yeah, I mean, but things that are not really that important to the plot moving forward.
No, I mean, I
Really.
guess it's, well, because in between times, I guess the store is opened and they're losing customers,
Mm-hmm.
and they start these like protests, and she goes on TV, does interviews, trying to keep the store open, and he really starts to dislike her
Mm-hmm.
because he kind of dragging his name through the mud.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and then they decide to meet, and he goes along with Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Very thin Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, Dave Chappelle. I don't want to say that,
But you're a fatty
that you're a
now.
fatty now. That was rude on me. I'm sorry. Yeah. So so he goes very excited, very like nervous, and then Dave Chappelle looks through the window for him and figures out that it's like Meg Ryan, who's shop girl, which is her
Handler, I think.
handler. Yeah, handler. And so he goes in to kind of mess with her, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, like at the beginning you as an audience are led to believe that he's not gonna show up because he even says so. He says like, "No, I'm not gonna,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna show up." But then eventually he does come, and I guess back then when the movie first came out, you would wonder, is he gonna tell her that
Mm,
he's actually NY 152?
yeah.
But no, like he's himself, and he has like some sort of interaction with her, and she asks him to leave,
Yeah.
and he stays until she says something like really hurtful,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he leaves.
Yeah.
And then we see Meg Ryan walking down the lonely road. And we're still gonna get sued for this episode.
Yeah, what does she say to him? She's
Yeah, I think
like, you're just a suit or something.
yeah, she says like,
You're not
like
you
people
don't matter. No
peop-
one's gonna remember you.
exactly. It's like people remember my mother, blah blah blah, and I maybe yeah, like you're nothing but a suit. No one's gonna remember you.
Yeah.
So he walks and
Yeah, and
leaves.
so then and then they chat again, and she tells him about what happened, basically, that she said these awful things, and he was right, that she regretted it as soon as it came out of her mouth, really.
And yeah, and she says like, I don't know why you weren't there, and she says something I think really nice, I guess, that she says like, I don't know if you, I don't know what this was. Maybe this was nothing, but this nothing has meant for me much more than a lot of somethings.
That's right, yeah.
I was like,
Oh god, let me know.
and thank you for this thing that you
Yeah.
gave me. And
Yeah.
then yeah, and then he replies
Mm-hmm.
like at the big there's like a montage of him trying to figure out like these crazy excuses for
Yeah.
for why he didn't show up.
But he doesn't. He never actually tells her the reason.
Yeah, he says like, I cannot tell you, but and he apologizes for the fact that she had that interaction with this other person, which is himself.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what else does he say. He just apologizes.
Yeah. And looks at his dog.
And looks at
Yeah, and then I guess in the meantime the shop goes under. Like, they've been trying to keep it open, but it just hasn't worked. So then they have to close.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happens.
I mean, I think
at some point her and her boyfriend break up.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, you see how, I guess you kind of, it's not like that the relationship between them starts to deteriorate. It's more like
it was never really
that
meaningful to begin
with. I mean,
with.
there's this bit in which he has like an interview on television. And
That's right.
and he's flirting with the hostess, and she notices this, but she doesn't. I mean, I guess she doesn't look jealous. She looks more like bothered that he was flirting with someone, but more of a, why were you flirting with
Why
someone?
would you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then eventually, like, I think they go to the movies.
That's
and,
right.
And,
Yes.
exactly, because the old lady who does the accounting in her shop, like, gives, like, makes them believe, or lets them like, insinuates that she dated Franco, the Spanish dictator.
Yeah.
And he's like surprised, like, oh my god. And while they're going to the movies, like Meg Ryan and the boyfriend,
Yeah.
and he says something like, I wouldn't be able to date someone who's not into politics just like I am.
Yeah.
And she says, like, well, I have to tell you something. I
didn't vote the last
election.
Yeah.
I went to have manicure and
I went for a manicure, and then I lost track of time and stuff, and then he's like, oh, I forgive you.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, you forgive me? You forgive me? You asshole. No, she doesn't say that. But she does walked out of the movie theater, and then
they go to a cafe, and he kind of admits that he's not in love with her, and she admits that she's not in love with him, and they're kind of relieved about that, so they break up.
Yeah, which I guess it's also like it provides for the audience maybe some sort of relief, you know, that if you can identify with being in a relationship you're not happy in, maybe that also provides, like, you know, I wish I could break up with my partner just as peacefully as that.
Yeah.
Because I do find that scene is quite sweet, in the sense that they break up very amicably.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I don't love you. Good. I don't love you either. Good. You have someone. Yeah, I have someone.
Then it's all good.
That's so good. And so it's like, I don't know if it's a fantasy, but it's like, I guess something that everyone wished a breakup would go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just looking at my notes, and we skipped over a bit where they're like in the supermarket.
Yeah, you have that note. Yeah.
And so they're at, like, Meg Ryan, which also gave us anxiety seeing people shopping without masks on. But so like Meg Ryan goes shopping, and then she sees Tom Hanks, so then there's like a little montage, she's spends her entire shopping trying to avoid him, and then she's at the cashier, and then she realizes she's at the cash only till, but she doesn't have any cash, and then he comes round and charms the cashier and to let her use her card. But the noticeable thing about this scene that I found interesting was that the cashier is played by, I don't know what her name is, but
who's being racist now?
Okay, fine. I'm also a little bit racist. No,
like we've proven in the previous episodes.
Oh god, it never gets any better. No, yes, it's like played by Callie from Grey's Anatomy. Like I said, I don't know every actor's name. Okay, I know her character. She played Callie on Grey's Anatomy. So I know for a fact that she's obviously American. Like, she speaks perfectly good English, but they had her do this kind of weird, like, accent, like broken English. And I was like, come on, Nora Ephron.
Just because she's brown?
Come on. Really? Just because she's Latina?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So that made me laugh, I guess. It's like, wow. Another way in the way this film is dated. But
yeah.
It's just when you I don't know, like, it's just when you realize in retrospect, like, you see some of these actors who, when they, like, after they become famous, then you watch them in other roles, and then they obviously made to do these weird accents, who have to play these, you know, stereotypes. And you think, oh boy, I kind of that must have been kind of shitty for them.
Yeah.
But that's the game you have to play, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, she did good. She landed Grey's Anatomy.
Exactly. She got to play her part.
Yeah.
So jumping forwards again. So Kathy's broken up with a boyfriend, and then so I'm guessing, is this where he breaks up with his girlfriend? I think Tom Hanks, like they're going up in their building, and his girlfriend is like, oh, I think I'm gonna. Is she some book editor? I think.
I guess she's like also like in the book editing business in a way.
Book publishing maybe.
Yeah.
And she's saying, oh, I'm thinking about giving Kathleen Kelly a job as a children's writer, and she also, which this is why I couldn't quite understand about her character's portrayal in this scene, because it changes from her being quite sympathetic towards Kathleen's, like Meg Ryan's character, and reprimanding Tom Hanks for basically being the reason why Meg Ryan lost her job anyway, like lost the store. And then the next thing, and then they go in the lift, and it suddenly gets stuck, and they're trapped in the lift with these other people, and suddenly she turns into this horrible person again, like screaming and getting hysterical and being mean, and because this is the moment that, but then this is the moment where he realizes he doesn't want to be with her. And it's just an odd treatment of her character, I think. It was a bit sort of back and forth, and are you supposed to dislike her now or not? You know?
Yeah.
Or was it... Or they just had to use her character to at least give Meg Ryan's character some kind of future, in a way, of saying, oh yeah, well, she's fine now, everything's fine because she has a job.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think... yeah, I think like her character is not very well written. I mean, it, like I said yesterday, it's like a sketch of a character. It's not like a fully developed one.
Yeah.
I guess that I guess because what she shows in the elevator is that she's shallow.
Yes,
right?
exactly. Yeah,
so
that's
maybe that's the maybe. I mean, I guess you can be shallow but still be. I mean, I don't think she's necessarily like a good person because she's gonna give her a job. She's just she knows that Catherine Kelly knows, and I just knows a lot. I'm gonna repeat that.
Let's redo that.
Okay, so she. I mean, I don't think she's like a good person just because she's gonna offer Catherine Kelly a job, because she says, okay, Catherine Kelly, she's the woman who knows everything there is to know about children's books. So she obviously wants her not for like to be a good person, but because it's an asset to her. So I guess she's just being, again, a businesswoman, which I guess is what also is Tom Hanks's character is, a businessman. So I think that's what you're seeing there, and exactly like she says, like you're pretending like you're not the one responsible for her demise. But she does say, who does that remind me of? I know, me. So
which is such a weird line as well. Like I also such a forced, like I don't know, line of, let's remind you though that she's
not that
selfish.
Exactly. So I guess
without really showing her as such.
I think the problem for me with both of their partners is what we talked about yesterday. Like, they're just there for being there, because it's not like they inject any conflict to the plot. You don't really see why they would be with them, why Tom Hanks or Meg Ryan would be with their respective partners. So I think they're just there to be there so that they are not both single. I don't know.
Because that's the thing, isn't it? Because it's like we said at the beginning, it's not really framed as a conflict. It's not, their partners aren't really the obstacle to getting together. The main obstacle for them is the fact that they obviously dislike each other initially in real life, and that is the reason that her bookstore is going down. That's enough conflict.
Yeah.
But why they needed to have partners that are so ineffectual anyway when it comes to the plot.
To be fair, I know this film is based on like a Hungarian play from the 1930s.
Oh, okay.
So probably
That was what was still taken over
yeah.
from it,
So
maybe.
probably in the 1930s in Hungary, they
Mm.
they weren't like very concerned about this narrative issues, and Nora Ephron didn't
Okay.
think it
Okay.
was
Well,
worth
you'd
to
still
change it.
think. I'm not going to say anything about the original source material this is based on because I don't know anything about
Yeah.
it. But you'd think like in the 90s as a modern
Yeah.
for a film,
Yeah.
was it a play, did you
A
say?
play, yeah.
You'd think adapting it to film from the 1930s, you'd have a bit you'd translate that a bit better really.
Yeah, yeah.
And you change some of it to make
Yeah.
it fit better?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, there you go.
Yeah, well,
Okay, that explains a little bit of it, but
yeah.
um
So he
yeah,
breaks
so
up
he
with
breaks up with her and then he goes and stays on his boat. And then his father comes along as well because his wife left him for the for the
exactly.
nanny. And then it turns out they have this conversation where it's like his father had been with however many of his nannies. And I'm guessing this is another scene where he kind of realizes I don't want to be like my father, I'm guessing.
Exactly.
Isn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly because I think he says something to the dad. Like he asks something like, "When are you going to?" Yeah, have they? It's something about like the kind of relationship that he's had. Something like, it's. Do you think she's going to be? So are you gonna start pursuing the next love of your life? It's not what he says, but something in that sense.
Mm.
And the dad says like, come on, me. Have I ever been with that kind of person? Have you?
Yeah.
So that's, I guess,
Yeah.
the moment when he realizes that I've never actually been with this person that makes my heart jump or whatever.
Yeah.
But I know someone who does, so
Mhm.
I should be with them so that I don't end up like my father.
Yeah.
And that's when he decides to kind of like make Ryan fall in love with Joe Fox,
Yeah.
not with the
Just online him.
the online him.
Yeah. Yeah, or at least make her fall in love with him so that when she finds out it is him that
It's not a problem.
Yeah. So he goes to her apartment with flowers and she's got a cold and he goes up and I guess they have like this moment where like she's in bed and he
yeah.
shushes her, I
Yeah.
think.
Because I think she's gonna say something like mean to him.
Yes, that's right.
And
yeah.
he just, like I said, like, let me stop you right there.
Before you
say
something you're gonna regret.
Yeah.
And think about for however long.
Mm-hmm.
And then they start
Running into each other.
What? Is it running into each other? I thought they actually. I mean, they go for coffee and things.
I think
don't
like
they?
one time, at least one time, they run into each other. I think like she's reading a book, and he knocks on on a coffee place, and he knocks on the window.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
And they start talking there, and I think after that they probably do meet.
Yeah.
They
that's
do
right.
arrange to meet.
Yeah. So and they kind of keep, and then they also have conversations about who NY 152 could be and what 152 could mean, and so they. And then she also makes this weird comment like, I couldn't be with a guy who has a boat.
Which
and it's like, why? What's wrong with having a boat?
Exactly, that's a good gimmick, Ryan.
And then they walk home, and he kind of admits to her that he would have.
Yeah, exactly. Like they have like several this rendezvous. I guess.
Yeah.
And I guess like he as the online him. I mean, the real life Tom Hanks, well, Joe Fox, I guess.
Yeah.
Like kind of like makes her doubt of this guy, and maybe he's married.
That's right.
And so she asks the guy, "Are you married?"
That's right. Yeah.
So it's like a funny kind of like dynamic. He's trying to make her doubt of this guy.
Yeah, a bit insecure. Yeah.
And then eventually the online him suggests
to meet up again.
To meet up again. Mm-hmm. And on that same day, she's meeting Joe Fox.
Yeah.
in real life, and she tells him, I'm gonna meet him today, and they start talking about that, and then eventually he does say like, I wish, sometimes I wonder what would have been if I wasn't Joe Fox and you weren't Catherine Kelly.
If I'd have seen you, I would have.
Yeah, I would have asked you for a
asked you
cup
out.
of coffee for as long as we both shall live. So,
That's really beautiful.
oh my goodness, here goes the
I never was ever gonna say that to me.
and
So and then he walks away, or no, she walks away.
yeah,
Obviously,
like
with this, like, oh my god,
yeah, she does say something like, yeah, sometimes I wonder that too, and blah blah blah, and he says like, sometimes I wonder how can you forgive this guy for standing you up and not me for that little thing like putting you out of business. Oh, I wish you would.
Oh, please forgive me.
And he looks at her with this puppy Tom Hanks eyes, and she's like, I have to go.
I can't do this. I have to go.
And she leaves, and then she goes to the date.
Yeah. She gets all dressed up, and then she goes to the park where they meet, and then she looks around the corner, and she hears Tom Hanks' voice.
Yeah, like calling him the little doggy.
Yeah, calling after his dog, and then who should appear? It's Tom Hanks.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
It is.
How all our dreams have come true.
Yeah. And then he comes and she's crying over.
Yeah.
And he's just like, don't cry, show up, girl. And she says.
And she says,
I so wanted it to be you.
I really wanted it to be you.
Oh
god. Yeah. And then they're all happy and the dog jumps on them and it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's the end.
And we didn't talk about the big issue of the film, which is that the film is called You've Got Mail.
Yes.
But
you get to the end of the film and no one has said you've got mail.
Yeah, because what the actual system, what it says is you have mail.
Yeah, when you go on, is it AOL, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it says you have mail.
Yeah.
And it's like, why?
Yeah, why would, like, because, yeah, exactly. Like, I always thought that the machine, like, the thing would have said, you've got mail.
Yeah, exactly. I was expecting, like, obviously not a ping on the phone, but, like, on the laptop when they log in to say, you've got mail.
Exactly. But it doesn't. It says, you have
mail.
So I thought, okay, then why did you name the film
You've Got Mail?
You could have just
that would have been a quick fix.
Exactly, but they didn't. So
yeah,
it's
so it's actually
choice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's odd.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's the main issue of the film.
That's the biggest issue we had.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess from 1 to 10 mails,
emails,
would you give the film?
I think I'm gonna have to go with like a 5, because I just maybe if I'd have like you, if I'd have seen it younger, and maybe I would have a bit more nostalgia for it, but I find it weirdly structured. I think the characters are thinly sketched. I think the conflict is a bit like the conflict is in the wrong places, so to speak. And when we were going through this now, I realized there's actually not that much plot to it. So I don't know if it really holds up for me personally, but I can see, like, going through and you explaining some of the things to me, I can see why a lot of people would probably enjoy this as like a feel good comfort film.
Yeah. I think I would give it like 6 emails maybe, because I do think that it is a comfort film in the sense that it's gonna make you feel all right. It's gonna, you don't have to really think about anything. You just have to watch the story develops.
Yeah. And
that's it. And yeah, it's a good film to watch like on a rainy Sunday when there's nothing like else on TV.
Yeah.
It's gonna, so yeah. But yeah, like I agree with you. It's in terms of structure instead of script writing. It has a lot of flaws.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
but
think,
think
like I said yesterday, I find a lot of Nora Ephron's films oddly structured and characterized. But there you go. It was a different era, I guess.
yeah. But if you haven't watched, You've Got Mail, go and watch it whenever you're feeling like you need like an emotional cleanse film.
Please.
That's what you should do.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. So we've got some more funny titles.
Yeah.
Have you got some?
So yeah, I have the Finnish title. I don't know if we have done this. I hope we haven't.
Let's find out.
The Finnish title for the Shawshank Redemption, which is Rita Hayworth Key to Escape. I guess because I think it's a Rita Hayworth poster that they use to cover the hole through which they escape. So that's
a very specific reference.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
to be fair, I don't know. I still don't know why it is called the Shawshank Redemption. I don't know what is making reference to.
Well, I guess Shawshank is the prison, isn't it?
I don't know. Is it? Yeah. Okay. I guess you're redeeming from the prison.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's like the characters trying to redeem themselves.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, but so yeah, I don't know. But yeah, but they just decided to go with Rita Hayworth Key to Escape. I guess it makes it. I guess it makes it like it makes you wonder why. Oh, how is Rita
Hayworth related to this? What does she have to do with this film?
Because of the.
But like you would, if you hadn't seen the film.
Exactly.
That's what you would wonder.
Let's see. Maybe Rita Hayworth has a cameo that helps them.
Yeah.
That helps them get away from prison. I don't know. As the finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, because it's very. You have to have seen because I've only seen it once a very long time ago, so I wouldn't get that reference at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like if we have any Finnish people watching this show, let us know if this is real, because I know that sometimes you on the internet you find
these kind of fake, like The Matrix in French.
Exactly. But this is what I found, and
okay.
And I like to spread misinformation. So.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I've actually, when I was looking through for some titles, a lot of them from Hong Kong, they're like really weird and long.
Okay.
And I kind of wondered whether they were real.
Yeah.
Because some of them are really bizarre.
Yeah.
I'll pick Babe.
The
film.
The piggy
film?
Okay.
Babe. And this is apparently, if anyone's from Hong Kong, please let us know. But this is apparently the Hong Kong title that they had. So Babe, translated as the happy dumpling to be who talks and solves agricultural problem.
Okay, that sounds very fake.
Because I don't know, I'll go for another one.
Dumpling?
I'll go, the happy dumpling to be. Who says that?
Oh my god.
The happy dumpling to be who talks and solves agricultural problem.
Yeah, I'm sure that the jumping dumpling to be it's probably like a mistranslation of a word that could mean that, but it also means something else. Something
I don't know.
It's weird.
Like, I'd understand the happy pig.
Yeah.
Talks and solves, but unless Hong Kong people only see pigs as dumplings, I don't know. Future dumplings to be.
Yeah. Okay.
Because then there's another one. Apparently from Hong Kong. It's really weird. It's called Barbed Wire. It's this film with Pamela Anderson.
Okay.
From I think the 80s or the 90s, and it's bizarre. The translation apparently is delicate orbs of womanhood bigger than your head can hurt you.
I guess in reference to the
books? Obviously. But
and what's the name of the original name of the film?
Barbed Wire.
Barbed Wire.
Unless
weird.
Unless she uses her boobs as a weapon in the film.
Maybe.
But I haven't seen that film,
Me
so
neither.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
So I don't
weird.
know. I was like, is that real? That can't be
But
real.
either way, someone had to come up with this fake title if it is fake.
That is
It's
true.
like, what was happening through your
who
head,
was going through
dude?
that? Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, weird.
I mean, another more realistic, a different title that sounds more realistic is the one for Army of Darkness, and the Japanese title was Captain Supermarket.
Okay, I haven't seen that film.
Well, the main character Ash, I think, works in a supermarket, and at the end at the end of Evil Dead 2, he gets transported back in to the Middle Ages, and then I think in Army of Darkness he gets sent back to present day in a supermarket, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes
more sense.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
there you go.
There you go. Weird.
Please, if you're in Hong Kong, let us know. Bizarre.
Yeah, let us know if those are accurate, funny movie titles.
Although, to be fair, some of the Chinese titles have been quite funny as well.
Yeah.
He's a ghost!
He's a ghost. But I guess that was it for today's episode. Thank you so much, as always, for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you laughed a lot.
Yeah.
And and I hope you join us for the next week.
Yeah, my comfort episode next week, comfort film. So
it's gonna be gay.
I noticed I pick a lot of gay things, to be honest, but there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't know what my comfort film is. It was weird, I actually thought, because like I say, it was between the film I'm not going to spoil yet and Julie and Julia, which actually I realised is another Nora Ephron film. So we nearly had 2 Nora Ephron films.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
there you go.
Well, next time.
Next time.
Cool. So, thank you, Hazel.
Thank you.
And see you. I'll keep seeing you because we live together.
You will keep seeing each other, unfortunately.
But you'll hear us next week. I'm Altair.
I am Hazel.
And bye.
Bye. If you like this episode, why not hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss another episode? And if that's still not enough, you can follow us on Instagram at elevatorpitch_pod to stay up to date with all the latest news.